Welcome to Toastmaster Time, the show that has everybody talking. I'm your host, James Jeffley, and I'm excited to be here for this episode of Toastmaster Time. Just like in a regular Toastmasters meeting, we have two prepared speeches, and then we're going to evaluate them to give the speakers important feedback to help them grow. And for that, we have our very own evaluator, my dear friend, Happy Skywalker. Happy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, James.
Tell us a little bit about what's in store for us tonight.
Tonight we have the amazing Gina Cefalu and the powerful Christine Robinson, both here to give us some very inspirational speeches. One on a book that might inspire you, and another on the status of women in speech competitions.
That sounds like a great show. Thanks, Happy, and I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback about our speakers later. But for now, it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker to the show, Gina Cefalu. Gina, welcome to Toastmaster Time.
Hi, thank you very much for having me.
Is this your first time on the show?
Yes, it is.
How long have you been in Toastmasters?
Way too long. Probably about 20 years, actually.
20 years. That's great.
Yep.
And what club are you a member of?
I'm in the Pleasanton Chamber Chatters.
Chamber Chatters. Is there a lot of chatting going on there?
A lot of chattering, and we also meet at the Chamber of Commerce in downtown Pleasanton. It's open to anybody that would like to participate.
Very nice. And how has your experience helped you outside of Toastmasters?
I believe Toastmasters has helped me learn to be a better evaluator and give people feedback, but also to receive feedback.
Well, you're going to get some good feedback tonight.
Great.
Are you ready to give your speech?
Yes.
Hang here for just a moment. I'll give you a minute to go set up, but while we prepare for that, I want to tell the audience a little bit about what to expect from our speeches. With a manual speech, it's a speech that's crafted to meet a specific set of objectives from one of the 17 manuals provided by Toastmasters International, which cover all manner of speaking assignments that one might encounter out in the real world. Your speech may be tailored to include props, emphasize vocal variety or gestures, or facial expressions. At our weekly club meetings, we also encourage speakers to act as evaluators to provide feedback on how well each speaker achieved their goals. And here at Toastmaster Time, we're no different. We too have our very own evaluator. And to evaluate and review the objectives for our speakers is Happy Skywalker. Welcome, Happy.
Hey, James.
So tell us about the objectives for Gina's speech.
Well, Gina's speech is a very special speech because it is the final speech in the first manual for Toastmasters members. So it completes the Competent Communication Manual, which is where we all begin. Her objectives are to inspire an audience by appealing to noble motives, challenging the audience to a higher level of beliefs or achievement, and she's to appeal to the audience's needs and emotions using stories, anecdotes, quotes, or whatever tools she needs to do that.
That sounds great. Well, I look forward to your comments after her speech. For right now, I'd like to introduce our first speaker. It's the new year. Why is my gym crowded? What's with the PowerBall Lottery Frenzy? In today's speech, Gina will tell a tale of how the magic brought her something that money or a new body couldn't provide. Do you believe in magic? Gina Cefalu. Gina Cefalu, do you believe in magic?
It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. That's Michael Bublé's lyrics from Feeling Good, and one of my favorite artists of all time. It's 2016, Happy New Year, I love it. What I don't love are all the alien people who have descended upon my own private planet. That planet is called my gym. I can no longer find a parking spot in this planet of mine. The locker rooms have all been taken. There is equipment laying around that nobody knows how to use. It's a very frustrating and almost mind-boggling experience that every year come January, the gym is just overcrowded with people who've just all of a sudden decided this is the time they're going to get in shape. The other mind-boggling thing to me is this Powerball. It's 700, 900, now it's over $1 billion, and people are lining up to buy tickets. Do they not realize that the more people buying tickets, the lower your odds? I looked it up, it's 1 in 292 million. Do you realize that there's a better odd of myself being struck by lightning, not once, but 10 times before I'd win that lotto? I guess it's just the new year and the new frenzy and the bandwagon has got me thinking that really there's something more to be thinking about in the new year. And what I want to share with you today and take this opportunity is this book. This is a book that I have been reading for over a couple years. Now, it hasn't taken me a couple years to read it. It's because I've read the book 8 times over. It's tattered, there's notes, there's highlighting throughout. This book has been very special to me, and so I want to share a little bit about this. The author is Rhonda Byrne. She's worldwide famous. She was the one who wrote The Secret. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with The Secret, it's about being like, and energy attracting energy, and attracting what you think to achieve the life that you want. In this particular book, Rhonda focuses on gratitude. Because gratitude and energy attracts like things, whenever you have gratitude, you'll be given more. This is a universal law. This book is designed to go through 28 practices. There are 28 chapters, and I'm just going to highlight my 3 favorite for you today, just to give you a little snippet of what it's all about. The first chapter in the book is called Count Your Blessings. Now, it seems very, very simple. We all have things to be grateful for. But what the author asks you to do is to write down every single blessing of the day and do it every day for 28 days. And if you can, try not to repeat those. So you have to get very specific. You have to talk about little things that happen throughout your day and your morning, people you come across. It's not just health, friends, family. It's specific things about your children or your family. So I like that practice, and it's something you can do very simply. Get a journal and write it down, speak it into your phone, and count your blessings every day. The second practice that spoke to me that I wanted to share with you that you may never have seen before, it's called the magical to-do list. Now, we all have to-do lists. Projects, people we need to see, people we need to call. It's a constant. What this practice does is it has you write down all of the things that you need to do that seem bigger and overwhelming to you. Somehow, magically, the universe will line up. You'll meet the right people, you'll find the right introduction, all of the things will just fall into place. I have an example of a story this week that happened to me on my magical to-do list. I have an office with a window, and I had put up holiday paint, trees and snowmen and all kinds of things. And I went to clean off the window on Monday. The window was not coming off. It was not getting clean. The more I cleaned, the more smeared it was. So I decided I don't have the right proper tools. This just isn't going to get clean today. I missed coming into work the second day because I was in the field, but the third day I brought scouring pads, washcloths, buckets, everything I would need to make those windows perfect. When I arrived to work, the windows were magically clean, the cleanest I'd ever seen them ever in my life. And I thought to myself, how did that happen? It was on my magical to-do list. I found later that the broker had talked to somebody in the janitorial staff for the building and said, I saw that Gina had been working very hard and wasn't making much progress. Would you mind helping her out? It was just like magic. The third practice that really seems to work in a group, so if you have a partner or group setting, in my case it's a book club, is the practice called magical outcome. Many of you out there listening to this today have something you want to have happen. It's a job, it's a promotion, it's getting a child into college. There's something big that you're hoping will happen. In the magical outcome practice, you write the result of what you want to have happen as if it had already happened. So you write the specific outcome happening and you behave as though it has happened. But here's the trick. You don't want to have any limiting belief in that outcome. For example, you don't want to say, I want my child to attend UCLA. You say, I want my child to be accepted in the college of his or her choice that uses her best and highest skills. Now, those are just 3 little snippets from this book. If you can take the gratitude and the magic, you will find that you will have a new dawn. You will have a new day, you'll have a new life, and you'll be feeling good. I hope this year, 2016, you will incorporate gratitude and find a little magic incorporated into your life. Woo.
Wow. So what did you think of Gina's speech?
I thought that was the perfect topic for her objective, which was to inspire her audience. Her objectives to inspire the audience had some specifics, like use a quote, tell an anecdotal story. She did a Michael Bublé quote. She told a story about a dirty window that supported it. Her inspirational message was to have gratitude and give some, not only gratitude, but have gratitude and kind of define your goals or your wishes. And she gave 3 specific ways to do it: gratitude list, the magical to-do list, and the magical outcome method. So I thought she gave inspiration and gave a call to action also to her listeners. So it was perfect.
Exactly. And I really love that she focused on gratitude and how that has the ability to shift one's attitude, your energy, and how you approach your day. And I think it was just an outstanding speech. So I look forward to talking with you later in the show, Happy. But for right now, we need to take a short break. You are watching Toastmaster Time, and we'll be right back.
Name an effective political leader in history who couldn't speak well.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
There aren't any.
Because when it comes to a disease,
Freedom requires leadership, and leadership requires oratory. You have to speak to be heard.
I have a dream.
It's all about personal growth and guts.
Never give in. Never, never, never.
Welcome back to Toastmaster Time, the show that has everybody talking. I'd like to welcome our second speaker to tonight's show, Christine Robinson. Welcome, Christine.
Well, thank you, James. Good to be here.
It's great to have you. So how long have you been in Toastmasters?
About 17 years.
17 years.
Yes.
That's outstanding. And
Yeah,
what club are you a member of?
1441 Southern Marin Toastmasters.
Southern Marin Toastmasters.
Yeah.
And you are quite an accomplished speaker, I understand.
Well, I'm not sure who told you that, but I thank you for the compliment.
Well, in your 17 years, you've won the District 57 competition 3 times, and you've made it to the international competition. What was that experience like?
It was fantastic, James. One of the highlights of my life, actually, yes.
So what was it like standing on that big stage in front of hundreds of people sharing your message?
It was fabulous. And the good news was all the semifinal stages were used up, so I had to use the world champion stage itself.
Ooh, the
so
big stage.
I've been on it 3 times. It's a gigantic stage, and I took pictures, and I love sharing them so people can see just what it's like to stand and look out on that audience. Well, you've been there. You know what I'm talking about.
It's
This was
quite an
breathtaking,
experience.
isn't it?
It is an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And I understand you have a powerful message to share with us tonight.
I'm very much looking forward to sharing with women what they could do to up the numbers.
Exactly.
Very much.
You
Yes.
ready to give your speech?
I've been ready for a while.
Outstanding. Stay here for just a moment. I'll tell our audience a little bit about Toastmasters while you get in position.
Excellent. Thank you.
Toastmasters International is a worldwide organization dedicated to one thing: helping people overcome their fear of public speaking. We provide a supportive environment at all of our clubs where members hone their skills. The meetings are fun, believe me, otherwise I wouldn't be there. And you're not alone in your fear of public speaking. At last count, we had over 330,000 Toastmasters in 15,000 clubs in 136 countries worldwide. So if you're looking for a Toastmasters club, there's probably one right in your neighborhood. And as in any Toastmasters club, we evaluate our speakers to give immediate feedback on their speeches. And to help with evaluating Christine's speech is our evaluator, Happy Skywalker. Welcome back, Happy.
Hey, James.
So tell us about Christine's objectives.
Christine's speech is the Research Your Topic speech from the Competent Communicator Manual, which means that her speech's objective, its focus, is around collecting information about her topic from numerous sources, as well as carefully supporting her points and her opinions with specific facts, examples, and illustrations that she's gathered in her research.
Outstanding. And what will you be looking for specifically to make this a great speech?
Well, I'll admit I've gotten a small preview of the speech and I'm pretty convinced it's great already.
All right, well, it sounds like your job is easy. I look forward to getting your feedback. Right now, I'd like to introduce our second speaker to the show. Christine Robinson is an advanced speaker. She's a distinguished Toastmaster and a 3-time contender for the World Championship of Public Speaking. She's a welcome speaker at our district conferences, for which she's received a standing ovation last November for her outstanding presentation on Speak with Confidence. Tonight, her topic is Change the Numbers. Christine Robinson, Change the Numbers.
77 years of World Championships of Public Speaking, and only 4 women have ever won first place. That's 4 women to 73 men. Great odds if you're dating, but I'm not here to date. I'm here to make a difference. As a woman and 3-time contender for the World Championships, I find these numbers absolutely appalling. 3 times I've been in that World Championship semifinal, and I have never competed against a woman. It's been my skirt in a long line of pants. The World Championships are but a sample of the numbers for women, both in business and political arenas, as we see on their stage, 1 skirt in a long line of pants. And I think to myself, what could I do to change the numbers? What could be said to encourage women to come on stage and participate? I'm only one woman. At the same time, I have the belief that if I come forward and give you my best, you would be encouraged to come forward and bring your best. And when we bring our best together, we can change the numbers. The first thing we need to change is our mind. The problem lies in our perfectionistic thinking. The perfectionism of the woman that thinks she has to be picture perfect, airbrushed, airtight, and rock solid before she can even show up. But we're little realizing that it's our perfectionism that keeps us at a distance. It's our humanity, our authenticity, yes, even our mistakes that bring us close, that bring us home. Perfectionism sounds like, I'm too good, or I'm not good enough. I fall into the I'm not good enough category, where I've lived since I was a kid, hiding out in the ball box, on up to the box I have right here between my ears. And the only way for me to get out of this box is to change my mind, or at least be willing to change my mind. With a little bit of willingness, I can bust out of that box. So can you. For perfectionists, it's really hard to ask for help, isn't it? I mean, even when we need it. Like the first time I met my mentor in Toastmaster, Adelaide Larson. 80-year-old woman, about 4 feet tall, beautifully coiffed white hair, and a voice like God. And she didn't care how she sounded either. The perfect woman for me. But I had to push my comfort zone and change my mind when I came up to her and said, Adelaide, I can't do this program by myself. Will you help me? My fears faded when she looked up and said, why, sure, honey. You come on over to my house. She didn't even know me, yet her first response was the very essence of Toastmasters. Yes, and how may I help you? It was through Adelaide and strong women like her that I learned my life lessons from the stage, like stand your ground, stand tall, stand in your power. The problem for women is we have played second fiddle so long, we don't even know how to stand. Women come up here and we stand like this, or we stand like that, or we do the ballerina pose. It's time to put your feet below your shoulders and come on stage. I'm not asking you to take first place. I'm asking you to take your rightful place, the one that's waiting for you here. The truth is, we're like great big golden eagles that have been raised in chicken coops. And it's time to quit playing chicken and quit trying to make your points from down here. It's time to raise your hands to make your point. You've been wanting to lose these flaps, honey? Well, join Toastmasters. Another life lesson I learned from the stage is slow down. Slower, lower. Inhabit your voice. Inhabit your authentic self. When we inhabit our authentic self, we empower others to do the same. When we push our comfort zone and ask, help is available to us. It's at the edge of our comfort zone that we find life itself. And it's from that edge that we bring life to our life. Remember, there's no such thing as failure, only experience. And experience tells us that together we can achieve what cannot be achieved alone. And it starts by changing our mind. When we change our mind, we can change the numbers. We change the numbers, we can change our world.
Wow, another great speech.
I agree.
What did you think, Happy?
I just found out that my hero is Christine Robinson. So that is news, and I'm excited about it. This was so wonderful to me. Mm-hmm. She said, I'm only one woman, which is interesting because it's true until you become a public speaker, because then you can talk to more people and you can spread your inspiration. She's so motivational, and touching people through this means you're not just one person anymore. You can branch out and give fuel to others. So I was very excited. I gotta say, I love the quote, there's no such thing as failure, only experience. It's a great speech. I wrote down tons of notes. Some of the things she did, this was a researcher topic, and she didn't have to go to a book to research competing as a woman. She did it.
Right.
And she came with stories of Adelaide Larson and some specific public speaking tips for women. So I think she did a great job. And who else but someone who has competed 3 times as the only woman in the World Championship of Public Speaking could tell us this. I thought it was wonderful.
Exactly, and even though it was a speech about research, I really appreciated how it was also inspirational, and I think that illustrates what can happen when you advance through the Competent Communicator Manual. You start to incorporate many of these different aspects, inspiration, research, organization, and you wind up putting together a whole speech that's inspiring and motivating.
She also was nailing gestures and facial expressions.
Yes, she was. Very powerful.
Yeah.
Well, Happy, thank you very much for your feedback. We've got to take another short break. You're watching Toastmaster Time. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Name an effective political leader in history who couldn't speak well.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
There aren't any.
Because when it comes to a disease,
Freedom requires leadership, and leadership requires oratory. You have to speak to be heard.
I have a dream.
It's all about personal growth and guts.
Never give in. Never, never, never.
Welcome back to Toastmaster Time, the show that has everybody talking. Well, Happy, we've heard two great speeches here tonight. What really stuck out for you?
Well, there was a lot that stuck out. I did already mention, and I pulled the quote, "There's no such thing as failure, only experience." I'm hanging on to that one.
That's a good one.
I love that we had a lot of ladies in the room tonight.
Yes, we did.
This was a very womanly episode, and I liked that.
And powerful, inspiring women.
Yeah, there was power in this house.
You're wearing a powerful, inspiring woman. What is that?
This is a brooch made from a page out of the first book I ever read, Alice in Wonderland. I read this to my father at night as a child, and I cut it out and turned it into a brooch.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
How beautiful. Well, you know, one of the things I really admire and I appreciate about Toastmaster Time is the chance to hear outstanding speakers like Gina and Christine and be inspired by them and learn from them. You took away one great quote. Is there any advice that you would like to share with the audience from your experience as a Toastmaster?
Oh, me? The thing that I've loved the most about my time in Toastmasters is the culture of Toastmasters. It's a group of people that come from all over the place, from all walks of life, ages, races, gender, etc., everything. They come together, and what we do, Toastmasters, other than speak, we give speeches, we support the heck out of each other.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much, Happy. Well, that's our show. Thank you so much for joining us on Toastmaster Time. We tape our show here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And if you'd like more information about our show, please visit us on the web at toastmastertime.com. We're sponsored by Toastmasters District 57. And for local information, check their website at d57tm.org. And if you'd like more information about Toastmasters or would like to find a club near you, please visit Toastmasters International at toastmasters.org. We appreciate all the wonderful staff and volunteers here at the Media Center in Palo Alto, where we tape our show. Thanks again to our guest speakers, Gina Cefalu, Christine Robinson, to our evaluator, Happy Skywalker. From all of us here at Toastmaster Time, I'm James Jeffley. We invite you to join Toastmasters and keep talking.